Hi everyone, it's me, Rick. Listen, I was reminded of a story the other day of something that happened to me long ago, mid-70s. I was a young kid, about 16, 17 years old, and I went swimming in a lake, and I caught an ear infection. I was living on my own in Jersey City, and I couldn't take the pain any longer. It was killing me. So there was a very famous ENT who lived, or actually had an apartment, not an apartment, he actually had an office. Yeah, that's it, an office. He had an office about 3 blocks away. So I called up, tried to get an appointment. The receptionist said, he's booked, he can't help you. However, there's a doctor upstairs, Dr. Zabar. He's really, really good. Here's their phone number. So she gives me the phone number. I call up, the receptionist says, no problem, come right in. So I was in severe pain. It was all I had to do just to even walk the 3 blocks, but I got up there, sat down, filled out a piece of paper, and waited. In a few minutes, they called me into the examination room. I could not believe the size of this room. It was humongous. I go in there, and everything is white. The walls, the floor, the ceiling. And in the middle was a big chair, looked like a barber's chair. She had me sit down, I'm waiting, and I'm holding my ear. I couldn't take the pain any longer. All of a sudden, the door opens up, and who walks in but the doctor? An older gentleman. He had to be in his late 70s. He was in a 3-piece suit with a white overcoat, but he looked like a movie star. He looked like George Hamilton. Dark tan, salt and pepper hair that was combed perfectly, just like the Wolfman. Incredible. The guy looked like a movie star. I was in awe. I was looking around. Could this be real? This is the doctor? And then he spoke, and he had that Austrian. He had an Austrian accent, you know, like one of Hitler's guys. Oh boy, this is going to be fun, I said. Well, anyway, he comes over to me. He asks me what's wrong. I tell him. He says, no problem. Let me take a look. He gets an instrument. He looks in my ear. It hurt. He looks inside my nose. He says, okay, I'll be right back. So I'm sitting there. Next thing I know, he comes out of the closet with this thing that looks like a vacuum cleaner on 4 wheels. It had a long hose. It was actually a thin hose, clear plastic, and a plug that went into the wall outlet. Well, anyway, I'm sitting there watching. He goes over to a drawer. He pulls out what looks like a clear plastic tubing about maybe, 6 feet long. And on the end of each end of the tubing was an earpiece. Remember the old transistor radios, that little white earpiece? Well, he had one on each end of the clear hose, almost like the type of hose you would siphon gas with. Puts it down, walks over to the sink, he gets a glass, he fills it up with water. Then he comes back. He says, okay, he wheels on, he's on this little stool and it's on wheels, and he comes up to me, we're literally touching knee to knee. He hands me the glass of water. He takes the machine that looks like the vacuum cleaner, he's positioning it, and then he takes that piece of hose and he sticks one end of the hose with the transistor earpiece in my ear, puts the other piece in his ear. So we're facing each other, hose to hose, I should say ear to ear with the hose. He hands me the glass of water, which I'm holding in the other hand, and he says to me to take my other finger and stick it in my other ear. He picks up the hose that's connected to this vacuum cleaning machine, and he reaches over, and at the end of the hose was a nozzle, a wooden nozzle that fit right into your nostril. He put it into the nostril with his hand, and he held my other nostril closed with his finger. Then he took his other hand with his finger and stuck it in his other ear. So now I'm sitting there, I have a glass of water, I got my finger in my ear, I have a transistor radio earpiece going from my ear connected to a hose going into his ear, and he's got his finger in his ear. He then turns the machine on as he pinches my nose closed with the vacuum machine, and he says, okay, now drink the water. Well, I take a sip of the water, and I realize what this looks like, a I spit it out all over him, and I'm laughing hysterically, and he's not even smiling, and he's wiping all the spit off of him, and with the Austrian accent, which I can't do, he's telling me, that's okay, get it out of your system, get it out of your system, and I'm rolling. I can't control myself, because I said, if somebody ever walked in the room, saw me with my finger in my ear, his finger in his ear, him holding my nose, me drinking the water, they would have died. Anyway, that's my story. I just thought I'd share it with you folks. Talk to you soon.